All right, hi everybody, and welcome to our week number 8 intro psych stream. We are here on a different day and time. I hope you all clearly you got my message, which is good. I'm sorry to switch things up midway through this semester, but we will stick with this day and time the rest of our way through. It works a little bit better now that I'm back on campus. So, good morning. Thank you so much for all of you joining me. Can you hear me and see me okay? Everything looks fine on my end, but just to double check that you can hear and see me just fine before I keep going. Somebody could just let me know in the comments, just like a yes or a thumbs up or something like that would be amazing. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Chance. I appreciate it. Hopefully you can see me as well. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, so as I said, we are in week number 8. We are officially right about at the halfway point of our semester. Once we finish this week, we will be halfway done with the semester. So we are almost there. What we'll do this week, a couple of comments about last week, and then we'll look at the things that we have for this week. So we do have our second exam this week, so I want to spend a little bit of time talking about that. And then we will give you, I will give you the Twitch extra credit question for the week and see if you have any questions for me. So thank you so much for all of you joining me on here live. I'm grateful for your company and for your questions and participation. So thank you so much for being on here with me this morning. So yeah, we are halfway there, which is hard to imagine after this week, officially halfway, but we're pretty close as of right now, which is hard to believe. It's gone fast, and yet it feels like a long time ago that we started. But it's March 2nd today, and we are chugging along through the semester. Spring break is coming up in 3 weeks. Not that I'm counting or anything, but it's coming up in 3 weeks. I'm excited because I'm going on a cruise. So I'm very excited for spring break to come. We're going on a 7-day Mexican Riviera cruise, which is very, very fun. I plan to gain an incredible amount of weight from all the food I will eat on that ship. So that's coming up in about three weeks or so. But anyway, I could talk about food all day. I will head over here to Canvas so that we can look at everything we have going on. If we scroll down, let's take a look at last week really quick before we look at week number 7. And last week we were looking at memory, and our discussion for last week, you had to talk about how you would memorize a 28-digit sequence of letters and numbers. And a lot of you did a beautiful job of giving me stories or talking about how you would chunk it or make it meaningful in some way. The biggest reason that people lost points was not sharing the specifics, like I said here. So if you said you would create a story but didn't give me the story, then you lost a couple of points. Or if you gave me the same strategy for how you would hold on to it for seconds versus days, you lost a couple of points as well. But most of you did a beautiful job talking about separate strategies, giving me the specifics of how you would do it, doing a great job of telling me how you would study for an exam and how you could link what we're talking about to help you with that, and then personal tips for memory as well. So a lot of you, fantastic job. We're in week number 8, and I think a lot of you have really settled into understanding what I'm looking for from you. But if you continue to not quite get the full points on this, you can always reach out to me, but always make sure you're elaborating and then, of course, replying to a classmate. So nicely done for the most part on discussion number 7. A lot of you did the extra credit question and watched the recording. So again, fantastic job. This week, we move on to week number 8. And we are talking about cognition. And cognition kind of pulls together learning and memory. So it's kind of incorporating everything we've learned over the last couple of weeks. So make sure that you read chapter 8 in the ebook, of course, as always. And then you'll want to go through and do the lecture for chapter 8. You can read the summary and objectives or listen to it. A little bit beyond the book, this video will probably be really helpful for the discussion this week. Just highlighting the intelligence test characteristics that you want to have. And then some fun websites for IQ tests, just in case you're interested, and just for fun. Some in pop culture stuff, a couple of movies and shows related to problem solving and language and intelligence. The key terms that you need to know for the exam that we have this week, which we'll look at together with the study guide in a few minutes. And then the last page, application, some tips on how to increase your intelligence. So make sure that you click on any links I have in here, explore everything, watch all the videos. All of that together is going to be really helpful. You also, of course, want to make sure that you complete the Chapter 8 video lecture that I have for you. This one I was able to post on YouTube because there aren't any outside clips. So feel free to watch that. You might want to take notes, as these materials will definitely appear on the exam, and it should be really helpful in understanding the materials for this week. I love with this chapter, Chapter 8, I get a chance to talk about my favorite thing in the world, which are escape rooms. Escape rooms are very directly related to cognition and problem solving. I have done 92 escape rooms at this point. I haven't done one in like a month or two. It's time. January was my last one. I gotta get back out there and do some more before I lose my skills. But I definitely got a chance to talk about that a little bit in the video. And then once you finish the reading and the 2 lecture videos, you'll want to, of course, do discussion number 8. Be sure to watch my little video that I made for you introducing the topic. And then you're going to go through and talk about, in your own words, how would you define intelligence? You can write out a definition. You can describe some of the attributes or behaviors that you kind of characterize people who are intelligent to have. What are some things that you can do to increase your intelligence? And then the big one here at the end, the book and the lecture talk about 3 characteristics that a test should have to be considered a good test of intelligence, to be a good indicator of someone's intelligence. What are those 3 characteristics or properties? Make sure that you explain them, you describe them. You could always use an example if you find that to be helpful, but definitely describe them enough to demonstrate that you understand the role that they play and how that could relate to an intelligence test. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. So make sure that you describe how those connect to an intelligence test. If it doesn't have good properties, right, what does that mean then about the results of the test that you would get? When you're ready to answer these, you'll hit reply, and you can post your responses to my questions. Don't forget to also reply to a classmate, as many of you have already done, which is fantastic. And all together, of course, we're 15 points, 13 for your responses to my questions, and 2 for your responses to a classmate. So don't forget to spend some time on that this week. We also have exam number 2 this week. So exams are not cumulative. So remember that exam number 2 is just on everything since the first test. So what you'll see is it's on the everything from the last test forward. So if you click on study guide number 2 for a minute here and let that open up, you can see all of the terms. So this is on chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8. So know all of these terms related to consciousness, everything here related to learning, memory, and then finally cognition from this week. So if it were me, I would write or type up everything on this study guide and have it in front of me. Make sure that you have everything organized and ready to go, that you understand everything that is on here. If it's on the study guide, it will be on the test. And if it's not on here, you don't need to worry about it. You see the study guide? Very cool. Okay, good. I'm glad it's helpful. Hopefully the study guide is your friend and kind of can help you to prepare and feel better about the exam. If you have everything on here written out or typed up, there's really no reason you shouldn't do fantastically on the test. So if you have everything in front of you, you can always reference it if you forget, but definitely be studying and preparing like you would for a normal in-person exam. That's only going to increase your chances of doing well, and hopefully mean you all get a fantastic grade. If you got a good grade on the first test, do all the same stuff and you should be in great shape. So make sure you know everything on here, and that should set you up for success on the exam. The exam is on the ebook site. So if you click on this link for exam number 2, it will remind you that you need to go to the ebook site to take it, just like you did with exam number 1. And don't forget that when you take the test, once you're done, you will get a score right away, but it does not come over to Canvas. So remember that I will be uploading these or kind of importing these, I should say, on Monday next week once the deadline has passed. So if you don't see a score in Canvas for it, don't worry. That's totally normal. I will be bringing those scores over to Canvas on Monday after the deadline has officially ended. But remember with the exam, a couple of things to remember. Don't forget that you have 75 points for the exam, right? And you have 75 minutes to take it, right? So make sure that you're watching your time, pace yourself. If you don't know the answer, skip it and come back to it. If you're not sure, write it down and you can come back to it and think about it more later if you have time. You can use your notes in your book, but as I said, if you're trying to look everything up, you will definitely be short on time. So make sure that you have studied, you're prepared, you're organized. Once you click begin the test, you are in it. You only get one attempt. So make sure you have a good internet connection, you have a quiet place to take the exam, that you're organized and ready to go. Please, please, please do not wait till Sunday night to take the test. Try and take it earlier in the week, Friday or Saturday or Sunday morning, worst case. If there's a problem with your internet or your computer or the power goes out or there's an emergency, you might not have time to reach out to me before the deadline. So try and set yourself up for success and take it earlier in the week. Remember that there won't be any trick questions. Everything should be very clear and transparent. So if something is unclear, try and read it again. But if you've studied and prepared, you should do wonderfully. Again, I really hope you all get A's on these tests and that you do well. Just make sure you're studying and preparing, and that should set you up for your best chance to be successful. So make sure that you go to the ebook site for that you use the study guide as your friend, know everything that is on there. Just like the last test, it's a lot of multiple choice, true, false, and matching. There are no diagrams on this test. So I think in a way it's a little easier, though the unit on learning is definitely a little trickier. So make sure that you understand all those components that are on the study guide. I still want to, of course, give you that optional extra credit. I have a few reminders and announcements for you. But are there any questions about the exam, the study guide, the discussion, any of that kind of stuff before I give you a few things on my end? I just want to make sure if you have any questions that I, of course, answer them for you. And while I'm waiting for you, good, I'm glad that you have no questions, Pauline. That's great. That makes me happy. So while I'm waiting for you, a few reminders. We didn't have a stream for 1 week, and we're definitely at a point in the semester where a lot of you have fallen off. I think only maybe 9 or 10 of you in these 2 classes are still subscribed. Please, if you can, take a moment to fix that. If your subscription has expired, please take a moment to do that. It saves me so much time, and a lot of you fell off, and I'm finding that I'm spending a lot more time tracking each one of you down. I'm looking in the chat here, and there's a lot of you that have lost the football cake. So if I just go up to the top, Joelle, and I'm sorry if I say your name wrong. I've had my name pronounced incorrectly my whole life, so I always feel bad. But Joelle, Chance, let's see, Pauline, Solomon, Jessica, Mariana, right? There's a lot of you. Angelina. So if you notice that you no longer have that football cake next to your name, if you could go back onto Twitch and on my page, you hit that purple scroll down and then you can resubscribe for free. Please do not ever pay for this, but if you're able to do that, it saves me so much time. And I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And like I said, a lot of you have fallen off. So just take a moment today to do that, or if you're watching this later, take a moment to do that. Hello, Tropical Geek. But yes, please take a moment to do that. And no, we don't have a midterm exam. We have 4 individual tests on their respective units. So no midterm exam, and the final is just a 4th test. So hopefully that makes it a little easier. Yeah, no worries. Please do not pay for it. So if your only option is to pay for it, then just let it go. But don't worry about it if that's what's happening. But if you are able to do it for free, which you should be able to do if you've already linked your accounts, that would be fantastic. The other reminder I have for you, our next Twitch live stream will be on Wednesday. So remember, we are going to Wednesdays now. So Wednesday the 9th. So Wednesday 3/9 at 11:30 a.m. Okay, so our next Twitch live stream will be next Wednesday morning at 11:30 in the morning. Again, we're moving now to Wednesdays at 11:30. Sorry for the change, but hopefully it works for quite a few of you. And if not, you can always watch the recording later on. Yeah, take a minute. You can take a minute and try and figure it out. You can always do that right after as well. I know it's a little bit tricky to figure out, but it definitely helps both of us, I think, if you were able to. So give it a shot, and if you can't, then you can't. That's okay. But that's our reminder. Our next Twitch live stream will be next Wednesday at 11:30. That's week number 9. Don't forget to take the exam. I definitely want to make sure that you don't take it at the last minute so that you have that full chance for success. Let me also give you the extra credit question. So many of you have been doing this, and I think it's fantastic because it really sets you up for success. Yes, and thank you so much, Angie. Thank you for noting that. It might only work on your computer. If you're trying to do it on a phone or a tablet, it might not work. You can also try different browsers. Uh, Angie, I noticed you're also expired, so don't forget to check yours as well. But yes, on your phone, it might not work. Mine doesn't work on some browsers, so you can always try different browsers and try on the internet. And again, if you can't figure it out, it's okay. Please don't stress about it. It just it saves me time, so I'm gonna ask just so it saves me that time. But here's your extra credit question for the week. Since we're in week number 8, I'll show you where to answer that. But what are the 3 building blocks of thought? That is your extra credit question. What are the 3 building blocks of thought? Once you get that, go ahead and go over to Canvas, and you'll click on optional Twitch extra credit number 8 right here. And that will allow you up at the top to click on Start Assignment. And then you can type your response in the box down below. And when you're done, hit submit and get the confetti burst and the 2 points of extra credit. I will be grading these throughout the week, so if you get it wrong, I'll let you know and you can try again. But that's where you can answer that extra credit question to get those 2 points. I'll also be posting a recording of this a little bit later today as it downloads and uploads. I'll post that right here like I always do, so it'll be there for you if you'd like to watch it later. But good luck on the exam. I know exams are stressful and everybody always has a lot of anxiety about it, but try and take a deep breath, study and prepare, and you really should be in good shape. I think the exams are very clear and straightforward as long as you have been following along, reading, and paying attention. And of course, you're welcome for the reminder. That's why I remind you all each week, just in case you forgot. I know we're all busy. So take a moment right now or right when we're done, and you can always go ahead and renew that. So I think that's everything that I wanted to mention to all of you. Again, the big focus this week is the exam, but read the chapter in the ebook, do the lectures, do the discussion, and then of course you have that 2 point extra credit available to you if you would like that little bit of an extra buffer. All in all, it's like 32 points. So please continue to take advantage of those. I think that's a wonderful opportunity. And other than that, if there are any questions, this is a wonderful time to ask me. You can put them in the chat. I will hang out for the next 7 to 10 minutes or so, depending on how long you all stay in here with me. So if you think of any questions, please feel free to put them in there. Otherwise, enjoy the warm weather today, I suppose. I don't like warm weather, but I know a lot of people do. So enjoy the warm weather. We have some rain coming apparently tomorrow night and Friday, which I'm very excited about. I love the rain, but I'm grateful for good weather today. My daughter has her first softball game of the season, so I'll take it. It won't be so freezing up in the Big Sky area of Simi Valley. It gets so cold up there sometimes. But enjoy the nice weather today. Have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. Hang in there. Spring break is coming in a few weeks if you're having that mid-semester tired slump. But otherwise, I'm here. We're done with our time officially. So if you want to go, you're welcome to. I'm going to minimize my video just so you're not staring at me, both of us staring. But if you have any questions, I will be here for a little while. So take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I will hang out for a little bit and I'm happy to answer them. And thank you all again. Thank you so much for joining me live. Again, I really appreciate your company. So thank you for being on here with me on a Wednesday morning in week number 8. Thank you too. Thank you. Thank you all for joining me. Perfect. I'm glad that you're back, and I'm glad that we're back. And it's always sad when like we can't do this for whatever reason. I do enjoy the time that we have. So thank you for being here. And again, I hope you all have a wonderful week. You should, if for some reason you don't have extra time when you go to start the exam, send me an email and I will make sure it's updated. But if you had extra time on the first one, you definitely have it on all of them. So if for some reason it doesn't show up as extra, let me know and we can reset it. But you should be just fine. Anyone who I got a memo from has been submitted quite some time ago, so you should be in good shape. Thanks for checking though. And again, if there's ever an issue, let me know and we'll get it fixed, but it should be just fine. Yeah, no worries. You too. You too. Have a wonderful day. All right, it looks like I don't see anybody else in here. It looks like almost all of you have logged out. So I'm going to go ahead and close this up so I can download it and upload it for you. But if, of course, if you think of any other questions, go ahead and send me an email. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I'll see you all next Wednesday.